If you're hosting your first ever barbecue, I can only assume you're a toddler. But that said, if you're not a toddler, then you should choose something that you're comfortable making, that you can make enough for all of your guests without having to looking like you're struggling. What's really important about entertaining is to actually be available to entertain. If you spend all your time with your back to your guests on the grill or with the squirt bottles or the whole Iron Chef rigmarole, you won't have a good time. So choose something you know how to do. Do not experiment when you have a large amount of guests over. Experiment on your family and then entertain your guests with something you know how to do. If you're just going to pass through or you're headed out here for a vacation, I recommend that you give a good thought to come into the Traverse City area. There's wine, there's fishing, there's golf, there's magnificent food, there's killer festivals, there's the Cherry Festival second week in July, there's Michael Moore's Film Festival at the end of the summer. Everything that you want you can find here. Go to the store, find something that wasn't shipped for 3,000 miles, buy something local, buy something made by a farmer, perhaps that one that you might even be able to meet, and use it in the simplest way possible. The Italian ideology with great food is that you can't possibly make something good unless you go home with great groceries. So shop intensively, understand and find out where the region that you're living in specialties come from, and find out what's in season. You can do it by one thing. You go and find what the least expensive thing at the store is. If it looks fresh, it's because the volume is up and really the supply's all over the place. Find the local stuff and celebrate it. That's the way to do it. We're going to make a piadina today. We're taking something that looks a little bit like a pie dough. In fact, it could be a pie dough. If you didn't want to make it, you could just go to the store and buy some pre-made pie dough. If you were not interested at all in the pie dough thing, you could probably make this with store-bought pizza dough, but it wouldn't be the same. You roll it out thin like so. You toss it on the grill. You let it sit for about a second or two. Then you pick it up and you flip it over. Then you take whatever you want. If you decided you wanted to do prosciutto and melon, this would work. But in this case, I'm using local Michigan ingredients. I'm going to take some fresh bologna from a place called Pleva's in Cedar. I'm going to take some raclette cheese from the Leelanau Cheese Company. And I'm going to toss it on there right on top of the bread. I'm going to put the lid down and let it cook for a second. It's really important that you actually leave the lid down. That will allow the convection heat to melt the cheese and bring the whole thing together. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take it off in all of its cheesy, melty deliciousness. And we're going to add another Michigan touch to it, which is fresh cherries. I've taken some fresh Michigan cherries. I've taken the bits out, and I'm just going to put them over the top. Now, a lot of people will think that looks kind of weird, cheese and meat and fruit, but if you think about the prosciutto and melon component, this makes absolute sense. I'm going to put a little bit of fresh oregano over the top. Just pick it with my fingers. We're not chopping. We're not trying to impress. We're just making something really simple and good. I'm going to put a little fresh black pepper on there. If you didn't want to put the oregano on, you could certainly put little dollops of pesto or just basil leaves, and then cut it like that. You can tell by the audio that it's crunchy and delicious on the bottom. And there you have a beautiful piadina, Michigan style. For more information about this and everything I do, go to michigan.org.